In its 20-year history, Channel 5 has undergone many changes in ownership and logos, making it probably the terrestrial TV channel equivalent of Italy or the supermarket chain Gateway. In 2010, Richard Desmond's media empire, Northern and Shell, who owns the Daily Express, bought the channel from RTL, and this led to another rebrand. The channel rebranded again in 2011, and just like in 2008, it went back to the past by reverting back to the numeral in a circle. Richard Desmond believed that the original brand resonated more strongly with the public. This logo is more similar to the original logo, and there were two versions of it. A plain Channel 5 logo with a numeral alone, and a print logo which had the word channel accompanying the numeral. This logo also has similarities to the Filipino channel TV5, which was introduced a year before this Channel 5 logo. The former was the logo used in the idents. The new look was launched on Valentine's Day of 2011, and these idents were based on the screen. These idents here are also similar to the film and dark room setting idents from the first set of idents with the flashing Channel 5 logo on the wall, and also many other live action idents from that era. These idents are another throwback, as they also replicate the 1999 and 2000 sets with the live action in a studio. In some of these idents, the logo jumped out of a screen, or it appeared on an object and played a BBC Two role. There was also a plain ident which introduced the news, playing the same role as the plain 2008 word in a circle ident. Just like in 1997, 2002 and 2008, there were idents focusing on everyday life, and like in 1999 and 2010, there were idents celebrating programmes, such as this one for Big Brother and another one for the Gadget Show. This rebrand saw something else not seen on any other commercial station, an advert and ident mixed into one. By the start of this decade, social media became more important as a means of entertainment, and the television medium knew that. And some of these idents incorporated hashtags related to the programmes to get the viewer involved. Maybe this is a modern take of the BBC URLs from 2000. Not all idents were set in the studio. For example, this Dallas ident set in Dallas, and this one set in the jungle for Wild Things, thus showing similarities to the 2009 and 10 editions. I saw these Channel 5 idents as promos for the programmes, even though they were technically like this in the past. But this neighbours ident is promoting a certain episode, which is more of a technique used in promos, as promos tend to be more related to the programme being shown at a specific time point in the series. This was later done by ITV in 2015 to promote the rebooted CGI Thunderbirds, but this was just a clip interrupting an actual ident, whereas this Neighbours episode being promoted is an actual ident. And that is the difference. Other than advertising programmes, Channel 5 used their idents to advertise actual products. In 2011, they did this with a new Nokia Lumia, where the coloured squares slip off the screen form a shape, and then collide with a smartphone to show the product. In the corner, it shows the channel sponsor. Therefore, rather than a program being sponsored, it is the whole channel being sponsored by Nokia. We probably came to the conclusion that you can only go so far with the TV ident in terms of ideas and creativity. But now something different was becoming a norm, which wasn't taken on board by ITV or Channel 4. The closest they got to this was this teaser trailer during an ad break, but this was not an ident, rather a promo for an advert. Channel 5 actually did this in January 2008. However, I did not mention this in the episode on the 2002 to 8 era. This was when Channel 5 was the first channel to be sponsored for a whole evening to coincide with the launch of the Fiat 500. It was only between 2011 and 2016 we saw this more often. This is different to the other times commercial stations were sponsored by a singular brand. For example, on ITV, you would see the ident and then the sponsorship sting, but 5 being themselves had other ideas. Continuing this technique, the idents mixed with whatever was being advertised at the time, such as the National Health Initiative Stoptober and the ident promoting the latest Mission Impossible instalment to the franchise. The screen idents were retired in January 2016, and 5 were now onto logo number 5. By now, the channel were owned by Viacom, who also own MTV and Comedy Central. Hence, you might get programming from these channels shown on or advertised on Channel 5 and vice versa. The new Channel 5 logo is very Channel 4, as it is made up of different pieces which form up the logo, and the brake bumper stings have elements of the Channel 4 1982 look, with the logo being formed up by the little pieces. This logo was designed by New York agency Gretel. Channel 5 again took inspiration from elsewhere in their technique and entered into the new era of TV idents. A few months prior to this relaunch, Channel 4 had their own relaunch with a new set of idents, but without showing the logo, even though their logo is broken up and scattered around the place across different locations. The new Channel 5 idents were launched on the morning of the 11th of January 2016. The project was led by Joe Bacon and Jody Mallam, a creative director at MTV. Bacon said that this look takes inspiration from the idea of presented spirited TV with an emotional heart. These idents are based on the idea of everyday life getting better with each moment of surprise, and this is giving the idea that Channel 5 is a feel-good channel. In this case, all good things come in 5s, as the idents are centred on the quantity of 5. In these idents, 5 of the same thing appear within the clip. This ident is based on 5 whales appearing out of the sea. This one has 5 skateboarders skating across the road, where we eventually see the 5th skater join the rest as they skate together. Another road trip here, but instead of a girl enjoying the sight of male skaters, a rather bored "are we there yet" type, feeling as gloomy as the weather, cheers up at the sight of red, yellow, pink and blue, but here can not just see one rainbow, but 5. A London skyline appears here. Here, someone is making a brew in their flat and then become accompanied by 5 birds. We first see 4, just like in the other idents, and then a 5th comes later. There was another ident involving a road trip, where a man was taking dogs on a trip through the countryside, and there are 5 different breeds of dog. These idents mix Channel 4 and ITV together. The biggest problem here is that there is no presence of the actual channel logo, which again is the same problem with Channel 4. You may not see these as TV idents, as there is no feel to them to show us that they are idents for a mainstream TV station. These have more in common with pre-installed clips on your Sony phone. For me, these idents weaken the brand due to the absence of any logo. These idents do bring back the same technique used in the 2006 editions by not showing the official logo, but this is becoming more commonplace in TV presentation after the Channel 4 efforts. It seems that the message of these idents is wanting to tell people what channel they are watching and why they are watching it, rather than actually telling the viewer what channel they are actually watching, which is the purpose of the TV ident, which was applied in the 1997 look with a logo and what is commonplace on rival stations up until 2015. These idents do not identify. For me, these idents are bland, and they do not show any real sense of Channel 5 identity. These are similar to the BBC One oneness idents, where the theme of oneness plays a similar role to the groups of 5. The difference between 5 and 4 is that parts of the logo appear in the 4 idents in the form of the blocks, which venerate the channel symbol. And this is something Channel 5 fails at. A small improvement would be sticking a Channel 5 logo over the clip. Obviously these idents are a step down, however I do like the bumpers, and at least we still see the Channel 5 logo on screen, either in the corner during programmes, in promos, as well as before the adverts, which Channel 4 fails to do at the moment. Therefore, 5 has won over 4 just by the virtue of showing their logo in their presentation. It seems that the dog during the programmes is more important than the actual idents, and here the question arises, will the ident die out as a result of the on-screen identifier? For me, Channel 5's brake bumpers mock Channel 4 by imitating the channel in more glorious times. The bumpers have words such as back in a bit and welcome back, declaring the end or beginning of an advert break, which I do like, and for me reminds me of continental European brake bumpers. These formations also appear at the end of ad breaks, with the announcer warning the viewers about adult content. These idents are different to the last set of idents, as there is no relations to the programmes. But there is a pointer to goings on in life, and this is similar to the 2006 set of idents, especially with the use of the outdoors. Channel 5 were once the station which took on new techniques, soon to be taken on by other mainstream terrestrial channels. But now they were bringing back old techniques, or using contemporary techniques which were being taken on by other channels, such as Channel 4, by not placing the logo on their ident. However, they had been at the forefront by mixing idents and adverts. I am Tim Goodwin, over and out, take care and peace.